Welcome back, guys. So today's a pretty special video. It should be the last time you see this Royal Enfield, because I am heading up to a dealership to trade it in. Hopefully trade it in. I'm not 100% certain that this dealer takes Royal Enfields on trade-in. I know some dealers could be a little iffy about taking in bikes that they don't sell or brands they don't sell, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm heading up there now. You know, I finally just got the title for this thing in the mail yesterday after paying it off in May. I guess they just they forgot about it. They never released it. You know, I called the bank and they looked into it and were like, oh, you should have got this weeks ago. So here I am. I've gone back and forth a million times on what bike I want to get. It's hard when you're a fan of every style of bike, every kind of bike. You know, I like cruisers, I like sport bikes, I like modern classics, I like enduro bikes, touring bikes, everything. So it's very, very hard to make a decision. I'm pretty locked down on going back to a dual sport. You know, I've talked so much about my old faithful DRZ, or not DRZ, DR650 Suzuki DR that I had for like a good 6 years and traveled around the country on. You know, that was an amazing bike, and I've missed it ever since. And I've gone back and forth about just getting a brand new DR and just starting from the ground up and building it like I did my last one. But man, it's windy as fuck. I'm sorry if this audio is not picking up. I hope it is. But yeah, I thought long about getting another DR. But to be honest, it's a little dated. You know, I mean, I am looking for something that's fuel injection with 6-speed and just something a little more modern with a gas gauge, you know, and an actual dash. You know what? I'll save this combo for when I get off the highway, because I can't even hear myself over this bike in the wind. So we should be up there soon. But you know, I could probably continue this conversation since I'm going to be dealing with traffic the rest of the way here. But yeah, like I was saying, I was, you know, on the fence about getting another DR, but I do want to get something a little more modern. So I think I'm going to go with the Honda CRF300L, which is a bike that, you know, I've always wanted like a small dual sport, something that was a little more nimble on the trails. You know, the DR wasn't terrible, but it was kind of a big old pig when you got it off road. Yeah, so you know, it'll be fun. You know, it's not a fast bike by any means, and it can't really do the long distance touring that I'm always talking about. But the more I think about things, you know, I really haven't ridden as much as I used to. You know, I haven't ridden like long distance rides like I used to. I haven't gone across country on a bike in almost 10 years now. So it's just, you know, for around town and exploring like local trails and stuff like that, like the CRF would be the perfect bike. You know, it is. I don't have it yet, so I can't really talk about it, but going off of like what the DR was and just like a dual sport in general and that whole kind of like lifestyle, like it's just like the perfect bike for exploring. You know, you see like a little trail somewhere, you could just go off on it and see where it leads, or like, you know, it's not really the most legal thing in Connecticut because there's not a lot of trails that you could ride legally, unfortunately. But you know, you just gotta kind of do what you gotta do. Alright, let me deal with lane split in this shit, because it is, I think it's like mid-90s right now, and it's like 100% humidity. I mean, I lane split regardless, but especially today, I am not fucking dealing with this. So, I'll catch y'all at the dealer. Yeah, sorry if I don't sound too enthusiastic in this video. Just dealing with some stomach issues and shit like that, and also, like I said, it's like 90-something degrees and it's pretty goddamn hot, and I just got out of work. Believe me, on the inside I'm excited to get this bike, but yeah, it's been a day, it's been a week. But alright, we're almost at the dealer. The dealer I'm gonna try to do this at is Libby's Motorsports in New Haven. Yeah, I've gone here a bunch. I've never bought a bike from them. You know, I've bought a couple bikes from Danbury Power Sports, from like Brothers Harley Davidson, like just a couple other dealerships. So this will be my first time dealing with Libby's. So we'll see how it is. You know, they've been around forever, so you know, they got a pretty good damn track record, I'll tell you that. Alright. Let's see how this goes. It's been a while. I think I got this bike in like 2023. So that was the last time I dealt with a dealership, but yeah, I got my title in the bag. Got my spare key, all my shit. Let's see. There she is. Let's see if I can find someone real quick. All right, here she is. I know you probably can't see the dash because of this stupid thing, but yeah, just made the deal. This bike has 1 mile on it, so I gotta be a little bit careful on it and get used to the ergonomics and everything. Very short gears. This fucker's a lot taller than the Royal Enfield, obviously. But yeah, so this is my initial first ride review. Well, first ride thoughts. But yeah, I'm happy. Libby's did an awesome job. It was in and out, you know. The hardest thing was just dealing with, oh, didn't mean to do that. Honda has this fucking guy. The turning signals are reversed on a Honda. They're up top where the horn should be. The horn is where the turn signal should be, so it's a little different. But yeah, it was in and out, man. I mean, they were so fast. Dealing with insurance was the biggest pain of the whole process, just getting the whole thing done. But yeah, we're out. I'm on it, and now I just got to deal with getting this thing home. Yeah, I'm fucking hyped for this thing, man. I'm pretty goddamn excited. I mean, it just feels so good to be back on a dual sport after all these years. But man, this thing, obviously it's completely stock form right now. I mean, it needs, you know, new bars, because these bars are like pencil thin. New bars, some bark busters, because these things are like, there's no protection, obviously. And you know, there's the usual power mods, a pipe, a tuned ECU, air filter, the usual stuff just to wake this thing up. For now, I'm just gonna ride it, put some miles on it. You know, brand new bikes take a couple hundred miles to really break in and for the motor to kind of loosen up and everything to start going good. So right now, like, it's a little bit clunky. Like, the shifting gears is a little clunky. You know, it's just gonna take a little while for this transmission to loosen up and the motor to really go through its paces. I don't have my quad lock on here, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it. I know some of these back roads through West Haven, it's not too bad, so I'll find my way back. I really got to get used to the blinker situation, because having those reversed with the horn is gonna be, might piss some people off. The seat is stiff as hell, I'll tell you that, but that's to be expected with any dual sport you get with a stock seat. But they make seat concepts, make some nice seats for it. I'll make this thing comfy. Yeah, so it's just super quiet, obviously, but I'll end up getting a pipe on here. Like I said, flash ECU. It's really waking this thing up. I don't want to make it too loud, because, you know, I'm just kind of, I want to be able to take this thing on trails and shit without pissing people off too much. So, you know, I'll get a pipe and keep a baffle in it, and just to open the motor up a little bit. But yeah, it's just, man, it feels so good. But yeah, definitely need bark busters, some kind of handlebar protection. When I get the bars, I'll order the bark busters, probably some tusk ones, just to get some protection on here. But yeah, come on, motherfucker, you see the stop sign? Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm kind of by the beach, so I'll find a nice little spot to post up and take in a walk around the bike. But yeah, just like standing up on this thing, it just feels so natural. God damn. Alright, let me see if I could pull up on this bench right here. Jump this little curb with ease. Alright, here she is. 2025 Honda CRF300L. Now the 25 has a couple updates. They finally put LED light, LED blinkers. They upgraded the suspension a little bit. I guess it used to be like extremely soft, is what I heard in old reviews. So yeah, they just changed the dampening, and they did something with the spring rate on the back. I'm not too sure. I'm sure once I start dialing this thing in, I'll know more about how the suspension is. But yeah, this is it. Fuel injected, 6-speed. Has a gas gauge, which is nice to have. I mean, this is I think stock is like a 2-gallon tank, but I believe Acerbis or Acherbis, however the hell you say it, has a 3.6 gallon tank that I'll be getting for this thing to get a little more range out of it. But yeah, it's got fuel gauge, gear indicator. I mean, that's like I know it might not seem like a lot, but compared to what the DR650 was, it is miles ahead of that thing, and this will be really nice. It does have ABS. As you can see, there's off-road mode. You can shut it off. I gotta make sure. I'm not totally positive if the front goes off or if that's just rear wheel ABS that shuts off. I just gotta look. Yeah, I gotta open this thing up, see what we got in there. I think it's the OG Honda toolkit. It's got a helmet lock. It's got spots to tie stuff down. I'll probably end up putting a rack on here or something just to have a little storage. This bike is going to be mainly like a utilitarian bike. I'm not going to be worried about having a box on the back or some bags or something. You know, it's just going to be used for commuting, exploring. You know, I'll keep some tools on there, keep some luggage, probably some rain gear in case I get caught out, you know. But yeah, the bars are probably going to be the first thing they get done. Definitely want to get some fatter bars that are a little taller. Man, this thing's a little chewed up. There's just some oil. But yeah, some fatter bars. I gotta put my quad lock on here with a charger. Yeah, like I said, bark busters are a must, because these things, I mean, this is nothing. So that'll save that. Exhaust, eventually I'll get a Yoshi, and I'll get the tune from, I think it's 550 Performance is who everyone goes to for the CRFs. Yeah, I think you send out your ECU and they send you one flashed for the pipe you have, which is awesome. I heard it absolutely wakes up this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna get back on it now, get back home. It is extremely hot. I made this, or I'm recording this on the iPhone because I wasn't about to rock my helmet with the damn Insta360 on it. It's too hot for that. But yeah, let me get on the road, get back. Honestly, I don't even know if I recorded that last segment that I did, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this ride. But man, I'll tell you, this thing is like, I mean, yeah, the seat's a little tough, but for now, but it feels like I'm on a damn Cadillac, man. It just soaks up all the bumps. You know, I'm sitting up high. It's got a nice commanding view. It's like any dual sport. I've ragged on the Enfield enough, but just wasn't something I was into. I think I got bit by that dual sport bug, man. You know, that DR650 really opened up my eyes. I think out of all the bikes I've owned a countless amount of bikes, just everything from, you know, I had a Dyna, I had like 5 Sportsters, I had the MT-09, I had old 80s Cafe Racer, inline 4 Suzukis, you know, I've had just a whole gambit of different bikes over the years, and yeah, you get to the point where you kind of find something that just works, and that DR650 really was the most fun I've had on a motorcycle was on that bike. And that, you know, that bike I actually own the longest out of any bike I've had. I had that thing for I think like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer than that. I'm not sure, to be honest, but yeah, it's just something about it, man. It's like once you get on it, and it's just, you know that this bike will take you anywhere you want to go. You know, you could hop curbs with it, you could go on trails, you could go through the grass, go anywhere. Like, this thing will handle it. I mean, granted, the stock tires aren't the best. You know, I'll end up putting like a 50/50 tire on here at some point. But yeah, just being up tall above cars, just being able to kind of just sneak in and go between cars and lane split easy. But yeah, it's just it's nice. Let me get through this traffic circle. Yeah, the lean angle, it's gonna take a little to get used to. It's so different going back from God, I forgot what the Enfield had, 18-inch wheels, or I don't think it was a 17. It was between 17 and a 19-inch wheel. It could have been a 19-inch front, maybe a 16-inch back or 18-inch back. But yeah, going from that to a 21-inch front wheel, and what's the standard, 18-inch in the back? I forgot what the hell it is. But yeah, it's a little bit of a difference when it comes to turning. So I do gotta get used to that again. But yeah, alright, let me turn this off. I'm sweating my ass off right now. It is so hot. I think I'm right by the center. Yeah, what the hell is it called? Stonebridge? Something's... Yeah, Stonebridge. Some dumbass, I think, drove his car into this lake the other day, I heard. I saw pictures online, like he, I guess he was drunk. And he somehow drove right into that lake, and they had to fucking pull him out with a crane. God damn, bro. I tell you, I had some fun times at Stonebridge with a couple buddies of mine, but I don't miss it. I don't miss the nightlife, any of that shit. You could fucking keep it. I know I'm not that old, I'm only 35, but it's like, you really do grow out of that at some point, you know. And I feel like ever since I got the house, I'm just like, I'm a homebody. So yeah. Alright. Deal with this shitty ass traffic. I don't want a lane split yet, but I know I'm probably gonna end up doing it because it's hot. Okay. And there's cops over here anyway. Fuck. Alright, almost. I might even hop on 95 for the last little bit. To be honest, I'll just stay in the first lane. Man, I am absolutely fucking melting in this. Oh my god. They're never gonna let these cars go either. This is where I might just scooch around. Honestly. Yeah, I'm not fucking dealing with this, bro. You gotta make a move, lady. Gotta keep the air flowing here. Oh, this is gonna be a fun bike. This is gonna be a little bit of a hooligan bike, I could tell. But yeah, like, even those like soar grates right there, man, you don't even feel them. It is like a Cadillac. It's beautiful. You know, we'll see how it is off-road. You know, like I said, the previous year was really undersprung and really soft off-road. So we'll see how this thing does. But I'm telling you, for on-road, that's perfect. It's like you're floating on a cloud. Man, my boot actually slipped off these pegs. Holy shit. That was the first. There's like no grip on these pegs at all. So that'll be another thing I gotta get is, I don't know, IMS, or I'm sure Tusk makes some wider, sharper foot pegs. But this is all the kind of stuff you figure out on that first ride, you know. Man, this bike is just like a tractor. It just lugs through the gears. It feels so good. Alright, let me not get too sexual here with this shit. Let me get my ass home, it's hot. Man, look how nicely manicured those weeds are growing in between those bricks. Actually looks kind of nice. Alright, maybe the heat is getting to me and I'm losing my fucking mind here, but I forgot how far it is to get home on back roads from New Haven to Stratford. And it's also rush hour traffic, so it's a little bit more people on the road now. But we're getting there, and we're enjoying every second of it, no matter how hot it is. Home, sweet home. Now I just gotta clear out the shed and make some room. It's kind of a mess in there. Damn. Oh my god. It's fucking tall. Yep, here she is. It's 2025 CRF300L. Alright, I'm gonna make some room in the shed, do a little cleaning. Got radiator fans on because it's hot as shit. But yeah, you know, maybe I'll do an outro, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll make another video at some point. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more content on this thing. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.